Good time zone, everyone. It is Tuesday, July 8th of 2025. Well, I'm only going to say 2025 for those who are older and are wondering what year is it? It is 2025, believe it or not. I have a list of topics I want to discuss, so let's go ahead and get to it. And don't worry, I got plenty of sleep, I think. I'm not sure. I've been listening to a lot of Lock lately, and it's been helping me. So that, and of course, doing my usual prayers and whatnot. So anyway, let's get started. First off, we're going to do the Virgo traits overview. I feel like that is extremely important, so we can have like a better understanding. I won't showcase what these traits are, but I will state that this was definitely helpful for a lot of us. It was definitely helpful to me. So we want to give a huge, huge thank you to Astro Zara, who I did send a thoughtful thank you letter to, who also goes by the name of Zara. So let's just go ahead and just do a quick overview of that. So the overthinking, overanalyzing, we learn to accept imperfection. So by accepting imperfection, accepting things how they are, without the need of trying to seek answers, we're able to just not think about it. When it comes to our anger, we just have to admit that we're angry and not lie about it. For the third toxic trait, being so guarded, we have to need help. Good to see you. Welcome to my realm. We've learned that when it comes to being guarded, we have to breathe and tell ourselves, accept the punishment, accept the pain, but afterwards, let that person know how it makes us feel, because that is very important. That way, we don't feel guarded. We don't feel betrayed. Moonstone, welcome to my realm. Ask for help even if you feel humiliated. Allow yourself to be humiliated, Virgo, because Virgos, the toxic ones, have egos. So you need to let that ego get hit. You need to take the punches, even if it's scary. Remember, the moment doesn't last forever. So embrace it. Mystery Saja, welcome to my realm. When it comes to having zero patience, you just have to accept the fact that not only are people stupid, ignorant, you also can be stupid, ignorant too. And then you can showcase examples of this. If that was the case, always tell yourself this, Virgos, we wouldn't need a government. They can push themselves so hard. Only push yourself to an extent, and whatever you didn't complete or accomplish, take care of it the next day. Doesn't matter what the doctor says, doesn't matter what, oh, blah, blah. You just have to take it day by day. Fallen angel, welcome to my realm. Thank you so much for the rose. I shall treasure it forever. So no more pulling all-nighters. No more, getting frustrated because plans get interrupted. It happens. It's all about living in the moment. It's all about embracing the lesson, even if that lesson causes you pain. Zero Luna Bell Zero, welcome to my realm. New A, welcome to my realm. They can try so hard to help people. There's something you can do about it. Help them, but if they hurt you, don't hold it against them. Just learn from it. And then ask people, I did this, blah, blah, blah. What did I do wrong? It's not about what you did wrong, it's what did you learn from it? When it comes to being hard headed, it's not just listen, just listen. No, hear me when I say this. You have to embrace the mistake, embrace the imperfection, and know that your way isn't always correct. Chris Football 12, welcome back to my realm. That's okay if your way isn't perfect. Your plan has flaws, their plans have flaws. It's not up to you to point out. It's just for you to embrace it, to learn from it, and to witness it so you can learn, so you don't be in that situation. So to prevent yourself from feeling hard-headed, practice deep breathing and living in that moment. So that way you can get the lesson. Boss Mon, HA10, or Boss Man Ha 10, welcome to my realm. You forgive immediately, take the lesson. It's just that simple. Oh, they hurt me so bad. They did this, they spread rumors. Forgive, move on. Remember, you have a long goal list. You need to forgive. You need to state how that made you feel at that moment and just keep it moving. Again, if you want tips, you can watch my past streams on my red at Y of Will. YT. You YouTube. See, I figured out a loophole. If you just say it slowly, Twitter, YouTube, they can't get you. Anyway, and being perfectionist doesn't exist. You need semi-perfection, not perfection. Semi-perfection gives you results. Perfection gives you pain and agony. So I'm going to go over the one that I was struggling with, which is the zero patience, which equated to the past panic attacks that I've had after, towards the end of the 4th of July. Now, I did everything that I could, the deep breathing, the talking to myself, the positive affirmations, and of course, allowed myself to be angry. So I allowed myself to say, oh, they pissed me off. And that's been helping me too. So not lying. Oh, are you okay? No, I'm very frustrated with you. Talk to me. I'm very frustrated with you. When you did this, this, and this is how I felt. I want you to know that. And I walked away. That was it. They came back. They apologized. And that was that. So it's helping. It's helping. I'm nipping things in the butt. I'm not letting people waste my time. I'm, embracing, just moments in life. And it's just been beautiful. So it's something I still have to work on. I had to bite my tongue a few times, but I realized that number 5 toxic trait is definitely something I need to work on the most. Um, I'm asking a lot more for help. Um, I will admit that when I ordered the angel cake and the meat, I should have just asked my mother, like, hey, is this a good idea? Or la 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 la. But, it's whatever. I didn't spend a lot of money or. And also when it comes to like dealing with maybe art commissions, Ahmad, welcome to my realm. I should maybe just ask, say, hey, do you think it's a good idea if I pay for this instead of this? So definitely 25, definitely 25. Welcome to my realm. And the anger has been less and less. Invincible, welcome to my realm. So just to continue to work out, continue to talk about. Gary Doss, welcome to my realm. Rhea Meredith, welcome to my realm. Yo, yo. I don't know what yo is, but yo, yo, like a yo, yo. So that's what's up. But yeah, so that's the overview. Any questions? No questions? Then let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is, oh God, the different types of VR chat players. So again, see what I mean? The zero patience. Oh man, the self-retracted yo-yos were fantastic. I missed those so much. All right, give me a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and Kiwi, welcome to my realm. I'm gonna go ahead and put this video out here. So before I get started with the nope, Feisty, welcome to my realm. I. Okay, had to stop myself. Okay, had to stop myself because I was gonna say before. Nope, you're gonna watch these videos. You're gonna shut up, Virgo, and you're gonna learn something. And even if you don't agree with it, you're going to just listen and you're gonna deal with it. So we're not going to waste our time with the videos of VR chat troll players because it's literally just the same thing. And I will say this once more. Seriously, get new material. I beg. It's getting boring. The trolling's getting boring. You're not original. You're pathetic. It's so bad that even Saya the Clown is even calling y'all pathetic. They're calling y'all, what is it, trauma dumpers or whatnot. I don't know. They're rage baiters. He even called y'all out and said that y'all were pathetic. Shout out to Saya. Took a minute, but hey, he's even calling y'all out saying y'all pathetic. That's insane. But anyway, we're gonna listen to the 15 types of VR chat players, the 15 more types of VR chat players, and then there's this other video. Where is it? Oh, the top 10 worst VR chat players. Bars don't deserve half of the BS, the bullshit. Absolutely. Bella rocking with the memes. Good to see y'all. So you're probably thinking to yourself, Nathan, welcome to my realm. Good to see you, man. Hope your summer break's going well. The reason why I want to go over these types of VR chat players is because it works with the toxic trait number 5, where I have zero patience for ignorance and stupidity. But again, remember, I have stupidity, ignorance at times. So do they. So in order for me to be able to get through stuff like this, I have to embrace the stupidity. VR chat's been helping me with that. I have been holding my tongue. I'm not gonna lie. I had to put my teeth through a table, be like, "Argh!" Like literally almost bite the table. Like I'm not even joking. Just, "Argh!" But it's getting good. It's getting good. Like there have been situations where people have been trying to get under my skin, talking about, "Oh, you're annoying me. You're this," and I had to take a deep breath. I had to ask myself, what are they trying to tell me? And in that moment, it was just pure bliss. I was like, okay, I get it. Not really, but I'm starting to get it. Anywho, 15 types of VR chat players. Give me a moment to set this all up. Paul, welcome to my realm. Wait, are you just a Paul? You're a toe beam Paul? Like, what type of Paul are you? I have no clue. Now, you all probably seen this video before, which is good. If you have, state your thoughts on it. I haven't. This is from virtual reality players. They started off small and now they gotten big. So, just the way how things are. When folks get big, they're big stars. I don't even know what it means to be a big star anymore. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. Anywho, types of VR chat players. I gotta set So, have you all had angel food cake before? It's actually pretty delicious. It's kind of dangerous because I feel like I almost got addicted to it. So, like I don't know. I don't know if it gave me indigestion or something, but it was so good. I added Twizzlers and Tootsie Rolls to it. Mikey, welcome back to my realm. All right. Keep in mind, I'm trying to set this up on my YouTube as well, and my Trovo as well. I am ready. I got my drinks and whatnot, and I'm going to do my best to hold my tongue and not to be frustrated. This will be tough for me because I'm trying to continue to have patience. Fluffy Fox Phantom, welcome back to my realm. Okay. Thank y'all for the 420 hearts, 27 views. It's appreciated. Like those who viewed my channel. Not viewers, just views. Memzy, Twitch, welcome to my realm. I think I watched too much Deathlock because now I'm starting to sound like the main character. Ada and Matt, Madik, Eagle, Audrey, Sin, welcome to my realm. Thank you so much, Madik, for sharing the live. That's very appreciated. Shelly, welcome to my realm. Thank you again, Madik. Yes, continue to share it. Continue to share it. Continue to share. See, here, I don't mind you sharing it because I really need all the help and support. Continue to share it. See, it doesn't annoy me. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate it. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's support right there. Give it up for Madik Small. Go follow them. Go check them out. Encourage them and strengthen them. That's what I need right there. Encouragement. Alrighty. There was someone by the name of Bianca who used to do the same thing. I hope she's doing good and she's doing well in her schooling. What a freaking legend she was during the Why People Why era. Now we're in the Wilkins era. Okay, let's get started. 15 types of VR chat players. As I was going through like kind of like skimming through it, I noticed that video's kind of flawed, but you know, that's good because I need to see imperfection, not perfection. So this is all just mostly opinionated with some facts. Anyway, let's get started.
Many different groups of people, and what's interesting is that everyone experiences the game in a totally different way.
Of course.
Social VR is a completely new concept. It's a place where you can be anyone or anything or go to any place. So as you might imagine,
That's a lie. I want to be a street shark. You said I could be anything, but I can't be a street shark. I can't be a transformer with a cool, transformation animation. Self, be quiet. I know.
and here fosters a thriving and growing culture unlike anything society has ever experienced before. Complete expression.
This is somewhat true. Many have tried. They succeed a little bit and then fail, and then there's VR chat. And while VR chat is kind of like teetering on that path of success, where it's kind of like they have a lot of players, they exceed counts and they don't, you know.
complete creativity and complete control over the way that you want to experience reality. But here in VR chat, there are some common stereotypes of different types of players that you will encounter. Whether you're a new player trying to get familiar with the cultural terms, or you're a long-lasting veteran that knows somebody who
Zuki
fits into one of these
64, welcome to my
categories,
realm.
it's really interesting and fun to explore the types of players there are. So let's get familiar with them together. Let's start with the most well-known group to the general public first, memers. If you enter a public lobby.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and just break this down. This is not a stereotype. This is true. The reason why memers exist is because people are motivated by a lot of, old school, you know, Vine-ers and YouTubers, and they're the ones that pretty much bring about the emotion of hilarity. So they figured that instead of people just coming to a social setting and just sit in front of a mirror, just talk about any other topic, they feel like we should come in and make people laugh. These are kind of like the class clowns at school. They're needed, but sometimes they can go too far. So this is true.
Up to you yelling racial slurs, well, that's one of them. It's the Ugandan Knuckles meme that kickstarted VR chat's popularity back.
Shit posters 27. Welcome to my realm.
It's often been a stereotype of what VR chat is like to the outside ever since. But of course, it is.
Memers don't get on my nerves. I actually appreciate their company. It's when they affect others is when I realize, okay, this isn't funny anymore.
Surface level experience that everyone will see on their first day of the game. But if you're bothered by these kinds of people, remember that you can just mute or block them. VR chat is a reflection of the internet, and well, you're gonna get used to seeing that kind of stuff anywhere on the internet.
Thank you, Fia. Thank you. That is the quote. That is the quote. We could just pack this up right now. VR chat, just like any other social media, platform, it's just a reflection of the internet. You're gonna deal with different cultures. D2, welcome to my round. You're gonna deal with different cultures, different people, different accents, uh, different styles of humor, and that is why I personally believe you have to be open-minded and learn something new. Or you could pretty much cause yourself to go insane and be in a straitjacket. It's pretty much up to you.
Now let's move on to VR chat memes. You might start up a conversation with someone when you realize that they're listening but not saying anything back to you. There's various reasons for this, but a lot of people do have social anxiety and don't like to use their microphone because of that. But there's also a very large deaf community that's developed their own dialect of sign language to communicate with one another using VR controllers.
That's right. It could be based off of trauma. It could be based off of, emotional humiliation. It could also be based off the, just based on whatever diagnosis that they have. So I have plenty of mute friends, and surprisingly, none of them has ever started drama with me. They're honestly really chill. You just gotta learn their way of communication, which isn't difficult at all. It just requires patience.
Mute can end up being one of the most expressive players out there. Some know how to use VR features so well, they make it look like they're interacting with their environment so convincingly that you just totally forget you're even in VR. Some players aren't mute by choice, as there is a medical condition of the same name. So even though it is common slang, it's good to know.
Interesting. So this is based off of education, not just mostly opinions. I was wrong. Good.
But that some players don't appreciate the term. Next, let's talk about furries. Furries being people with a love for anthropomorphic.
Oh, here we go. Sorry. Breathe.
They get a lot of internet hate online, and I'm sure you've seen quite a lot of memes about fursuits as well. But VR avatars allow them to express themselves in this way in a safe environment. In fact, one of the biggest VR conventions out there is actually called Furality, and this summer they got over 15,000 attendees, including raising $22,000 for charity, which is a great testament to how awesome their community can be. So seriously, don't be weirded out by seeing one, and start a conversation instead.
Everyone is secretly a furry. They're just too scared to admit it.
First thing you'll notice when you explore public lobbies are the role players. There's quite a few few groups that enjoy running around with matching avatars.
Role players have existed since the dawn of time, from cavemen, from kids back in the just you know just when the first kid was born, when they picked up a stick and they started saying pew pew and whatnot. Role playing is something that you can't run away from, but there is a thing called taking it too far, and that's when boundaries need to be set in place. Set boundaries, state where you stand when it comes to that particular fandom, and you will have zero issues. Go overboard with them, and you will have issues and run into drama. Just that simple.
From their meetup worlds or favorite fandoms. A lot of times they'll interact with you in character and it can be pretty cute, maybe a little cringe, but an awesome demonstration of how VR lets you go or be anywhere you could imagine. There's also the whole organized roleplay groups that you have to apply for.
By the way, there's a part 2 to this video, and there's one particular type of player that Fia forgot about. And I got a big old smile on my face, and I cannot wait to explain what this type of player is. Because players like us are rare.
You have dedicated worlds and events, which is kind of dope, I know. Ah, yes, questies. Players that use the standalone version of
Ethan, welcome to my
have
realm.
an icon under their name, letting everyone know they have a less exciting version of the game than everyone else. Quest players can't see most avatars or visit most worlds because of the hardware limitations on the Quest. This isn't a problem if they just
It won't be
connect the
forever.
headset to a PC, but it certainly waters down the game for people who can't. Despite this, the Quest 2 is the most popular headset out there, so in general, this demographic actually contains the most players out there. Questies often get a bad rep because of the
Ginger
fact
Rodas,
it's more
welcome to my
accessible
realm.
and has less of a barrier to entry through its low cost, which means more trolls can get it and use the device. Especially because a lot of parents unknowingly hand over their kids free reins to VR chat unsupervised, and that leads to basically every kind of bad situation you could imagine.
VR chat drama. It's annoying, but it exists because zero boundaries are set. People just can't say no because they don't want to hurt people's feelings. Sometimes you gotta hurt people's feelings so you can be safe.
I like to think of the Quest version of VR chat as the VR entry drug because a lot of people start with Quest only to soon end up with a Valve Index, 8 trackers, and a pole in their bedroom. Trust me, I'll explain that one soon. And if you're a Quest user, then I think you'll like today's sponsor, which is Soundcore by Anchor. Soundcore VR P10 is the first made-for-Meta low-latency true wireless gaming earbuds authorized by Meta themselves to work perfectly with Quest 2. These earbuds provide seamless audio and visual VR gameplay under 30 millisecond latency with their lightning sync wireless technology.
So it is possible to pair wireless headphones to the Quest. You just can't use them as, a way to talk to people. Lame.
Dancers are people who use full body tracking to, well, dance. Sometimes you'll see them out in public worlds just having fun, but there's also many places like full body tracking heaven that cater to just this kind of type of player. There's lots of exotic dancers around, as well as street style dancers who were able to do crazy tricks and stuff that I honestly still don't understand how they do with the headset on. The most common way to achieve full body tracking is to attach them to your feet and your waist, but some people use up to 8 for way more accurate pinpointed movements. It's really cool to watch, and I've even seen people go as far as to install poles in their rooms to line up with virtual ones to spin around on. Pretty dedicated, huh? Crushers are a type of person that go into public worlds or events with the sole intention of, well, crashing people.
Yeah, nothing you can do about that. Just stay away from super popular worlds. Now we have age verification, so adults can be safe from these people. For now.
And effects to their avatars that computers just straight up can't handle. Experienced users will hide lower trust ranks like visitors or new users for this reason, since crashers usually won't do this on a main account. This sucks during events, but thankfully it's not too common to.
The video is very informative, but one thing I can say is that this video makes it seem like that this is what you're going to deal with in VR chat all the time. Wrong. When I first started VR chat, I did not deal with these types of people. Literally, I dealt with really chill, awesome people, just those that just like to talk to me about any type of variety of topics, food, science, sometimes even mostly history or their time in the war, and it was mostly just fine. It's just what happened was due to the fact that the whole demographic and with the rise of the Quest users have, and kids pretty much being a part of the app, this is what brought about a lot of these stereotypes. VR chat was not like this back in the day. VR chat back then literally was just you sat in a room, you talked to people, and that was it. And you just, I think there was like a game or so, and that was that. And that was it. It was really basic back then.
It's annoying, but don't let the a-holes ruin all your fun. On a more positive note, there's a huge LGBTQ plus community that I just have to highlight. I mentioned before with furries that people feel like they can express themselves better by choosing an avatar that represents them. And it's a very similar story here. I've made many trans friends here, and you'll definitely find that the general VR chat community is super open and accepting to all types of people when it comes to identity. Experimenting with different gendered avatars is encouraged, and it's a pretty eye opening experience that I do recommend to everyone to
This
try.
is literally just like how it was in the 90s. If you had a parent that was very open minded. Oh, you're a boy that plays with girl toys? Cool. You're a girl that plays with boy toys? Cool. Of course, your behavior was monitored just to make sure that there weren't certain things that you were doing because, oh, society. But now looking back, it's like, who cares?
I think self expression is one of the most important parts of using VR, and I couldn't go without mentioning how life changing this game can be for LGBTQ plus friends.
Fellow
In public
homosexual here.
lobbies, you'll always notice full body users sitting in their corners chatting, and if you go up to them as a new player, well, a lot of times they'll just straight up ignore you. These players are the highest trust rank. Trusted users.
Trusted users act this way due to personal experience that they dealt with on VR chat. So it's nothing personal. It's just that they've been crashed multiple times, dealt with drama. If they dealt with a bad experience with a furry, a brony, and whatnot, they will have these attitudes. I am a trusted user, and if you just come and talk to me like a sensible human being and don't try to like troll me so much, AJ Lucifer, welcome to my realm. I will literally just listen and talk to you. I am not, an asshole. I'm not just going to just sit here and be like, oh, you're not worth my time. I will literally listen to you. I will talk to you. But if I feel the intention that you are just A, trying to waste my time, or B, you literally are trying to like start drama with me, even though I don't know you, because mommy and daddy couldn't get you your McDonald's and Fortnite Battle Pass cards, then I don't know what to tell you. Respect is earned and respect is given. If you're not going to bother giving me some respect or at least talk to me like I'm a sensible human being, regardless of what avatar I'm in, then golf.
Have a funny reputation of being kind of elitist because they've spent
Toxic Soul, welcome
numerous
to my realm.
portion of their lives living and breathing inside of
Hi,
VR
bro.
chat.
Welcome to my realm.
So sometimes talking to them can be a pretty awkward interaction. I promise not all trusted users hanging out in public worlds are like this. Oftentimes they'll be some of the most helpful and also excited to have you there. But it is a pretty hilarious stereotype that you will see happen. Like I mentioned before about hiding certain trust rank players to prevent getting crashed, trusted users will often.
And a lot of these stereotypes wouldn't even be an issue if VR chat would offer more players something to do. Sorry.
New players entirely in their safety settings.
I'm
as to
failing
not
at
be
this
bothered
zero
to fill out
patience
a
thing so badly.
If you've ever gone in and felt like VR chat was too clicky for you, it probably is why. One community that I spend a lot of time in are VR chat ravers. There's more than a handful of nightclubs in VR chat, and because of time zones, there's pretty much a party going on at all times. There's dubstep clubs, underground.
They really need to give people more. SPC096, welcome to my realm. They really need to give people more stuff to do with these party worlds. Damakas, good to see you. Welcome to my realm. Yeah, they really need to give Cat, welcome to my realm. They really need to give people more things and objectives to do in these party worlds, or people like me just immediately just get bored. Also, hang on 1 second, take a break.
DJ music festivals and literally everything else you can imagine. Once you go to an event, it's impossible not to get hooked. You really feel like you're actually there. And DJs will perform live with their headsets on, often with a live VJ as well, putting on visuals in the back. A lot of the dancers that I mentioned show up too, and because of VR CDN, shout out to them by the way, you get super low latency streams coming into the world for the sounds and visuals.
Shout out to them
You
again.
don't have to drink if you go into a club, but you'll definitely be hearing cheers every so often, which leads us
Or how about you just don't do drugs or drink in general? I mean, just a thought.
to the next type of users, the drinkers. Holy heck, there are a lot of drinkers in VR chat. Again, because
They're bad. Just pray for them and just encourage them not to do it, but they're bad. And it's not just in VR, it's everywhere. It's even at my job. They're everywhere. Look at statistics of teenage drinking and just drinking in general. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's actually getting worse. It's going to continue to get worse.
zones, there's friend groups or parties going on 24/7, and you'll encounter a lot of tipsy players everywhere you go. I love partying and drinking in VR.
Star, it's Kira. Welcome back to my realm.
Some heavy pressure from some different friend groups to join them on
Yo,
it's unhealthy
I'm eating a
fast.
Twizzler.
It's cheap, it's convenient, and it's social. It can be a little overwhelming depending on which communities you're a part of, but just like in real life, it all comes down to the type of people you surround yourself with.
That's
I
right.
made a video talking to someone who drinks so much because of VR chat they actually ended up in the hospital and almost died. So
Yep.
seriously, please take
Me
care
too.
of yourself and your
Very
friends.
hungry.
Desktop users. A lot of people don't actually know that you can play VR chat without the VR part on their PCs. It's kind of comic to see still avatars standing completely
Desktop
straight
users,
and follow the default dance animation out at clubs, but they're generally accepted in every game.
If you want McDonald's, it's sure. What do you want from McDonald's?
Sometimes I don't really understand personal space and run around maps, which is jarring for VR users to have someone pass right through your face. But
I like their
desktop
double quarter
users
pounder with
do
cheese.
end up getting VR later
Apple
on.
pie? Yeah.
Heck,
I wonder if they got a
remember
cherry
3
pie.
months
Cherry pie's
before
good.
I felt the burning jealous desire to join by buying my first VR headset. Sometimes it's VR players being lazy, but if you're considering buying VR for the first time, then honestly hop into desktop mode first and scope things out for yourself. The final group I'd love to mention are the mirror dwellers. Yes, I couldn't not end with this one, because it's just so stereotypically funny at this point.
I'm about to just do a big old metal. I can't stand people that get this incorrectly. Mirror dwellers are individuals who are deep in their thoughts, deal with social anxiety, or those who are pretty much reliving their trauma in their head. Mirror dwellers are simply those who pretty much are there also just for a variety of reasons. They just want to test out their avatar, or they just have a difficult time, like, looking at people. Some of these mirror dwellers are actually, deal with vision issues. Like IRL, they can't really see well, so I guess they just stare in a mirror. There's multiple reasons for mirror dwellers, but there's nothing for them to do, and some of them are just bored. If they're in a world and there's the same assets that you've seen 100+ times in different worlds, and you're with people that don't want to talk to you, don't want to interact with you, of course, your last resort after everything is to stare in a mirror. It's preserve, plan, and future. Welcome to my realm. Thank you so much for the follow. And thank you so much for all of these texts. You know what? Fuck it. Spam rave. Spam rave. Spam rave. Spam. 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 Trapped inside a box for a long year. running from the world. Like the guy you tell you, but the pointed hard, burn a piece of paper, now go forth and start. Go forth, be conquered. Go forth and die. Go forth, be conquered. Go forth and die. Go forth, be conquered. Go forth and die. Go forth, be conquered. Go forth and die while you graduated. I just mutilated, lost it to the world, feeling segregated. Well, with your parents back into the dark, back to where they started. Bachelor of Arts, learning starts now. Open up your textbooks and turn to the chapter concerning your death. Night. Please. Red. Black. Birds. Break. Death. Spam rave. Spam rave. Spam rave. This dying wrong, pursuing hairpin ways that penetrate the right and lying. Go, die, go, die, go, die, go, die, go. Spam ravers, go forth, go forth. Type your pointless nonsense. Be a part of system. Now you're sad and frightened, waiting going high. Maybe get your masters, be more ears inside. Dream of your own murder, dangled by the ivy, round in student loan. Better off just dying. Go. Die. Go. Die. Go. Fight the blackness through your rotting mind that's dying. Consumed with sharpened wings that penetrate that frightened lying. Go forth, be conquered. Go forth and die. Go forth, be conquered. Go forth and die. 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 Go. Die. Go. Die. Go. Die. Go. Die. Go. Die. Go. Die.
At Kroger, you never
Shut up with your ads. Best spam rave ever.
There are people, and I kid you not, who literally invest thousands on full body tracking and the best VR headsets just to sit in VR in front of a mirror. I swear it's like getting brainwashed. No matter what hangout world you end up in, there's a group in front of a mirror cuddling their friends and sometimes not even talking, just staring deep into the endless infinity of their own faces. There's nothing inherently wrong with.
Well, there's a reason for that. And it doesn't hurt just to ask, hey, you alright? Maybe direct their attention to something else, especially if it's your friend. Aaron Lebby, welcome to my realm.
This, but considering this is supposed to be a social VR game, it's pretty funny how antisocial this group is.
Because VR chat does not encourage communication, it encourages isolation.
And there you have it, the 15 types of VR chat players you should know. There's obviously way more types of people and communities out there, but these are some common terms and stereotypes that I think everyone who plays the game should definitely be aware of. Let me know.
I think they should be well aware of all stereotypes, but hey, common stereotypes times money. You know what I mean? 754,000 views within 2 years. This video will pretty much be close to 1 million views in the next few years. Who knows? But anywho, this was very informative. I really don't have any complaints or whatnot. So, but this is pretty much just what I expected. We're gonna watch the second one, and then I'll go ahead and go over the one stereotype that's important that she honestly forgot about. Next up is the 15 more types of VR chat players. Let's go.
VR chat is full of many different groups of people that experience the game in totally different ways. You can do anything, be anything.
Mr. Piro, welcome to my room. Inhead, welcome to my room.
Previously, I covered the 15 types of VR chat users, but there still are personalities you may or may not recognize that weren't mentioned before. So here's 15 more types of VR chat players you should know. Before we get started, a quick message in replacement of a video sponsor. You might notice my new 2.0 look debuts today. It's a big but very needed change. My modeler Mari did an amazing job sculpting it for VR chat from scratch, along with Tron Exelon, who did the custom shader work.
I have no idea who these people are.
They did an absolutely fantastic job, so please check them both out. Today I'm launching a plushie campaign to celebrate, which has a detachable headset and controller based on the new look.
That's honestly cute.
She's the perfect mini companion for virtual adventuring, so check out the pre-order in the description to make sure it gets made. And of course, if you're interested in connecting with me in the community outside of just videos, there's a meetup in VR to celebrate. So come join this or other future
Discord. No! Sorry, PTSD attack.
events in our Discord. Starting with the most requested type of player from the last video is the VR sleeper. If you've ever been to one of those VR sleeping worlds before, you've likely seen a full-body user awkwardly crunched up in.
Leave these people alone, you assholes. That's all I'm gonna say. Leave them alone. It's just like in real life. If you see someone sleeping, you leave them alone. Am I right? So if you see someone sleeping, leave them alone. Just that simple. Unless this is a good friend of yours and you know they're not supposed to be sleeping in VR, fine. Leave them alone. Real easy. Just leave them alone.
Corner dead quiet because, as you'd imagine, they came to this world to fall asleep in their VR headset. Sleeping in VR isn't exactly comfortable, but
Poor
some people
fanatic.
prefer sleeping in virtual
Welcome to my
reality
realm.
because they can cuddle with other users, or they just straight up spend so much time in VR chat that they really, really do not want to leave. It's not uncommon to see people do this in public instances of random worlds too, but the first time you wander into an instance of rest and sleep,
Darth
don't
Vader,
be
welcome to my
surprised when you
room.
walk in and have people actually sleeping there 8 hours before their 9 a.m. work alarms go off. Next is one of the unavoidable interactions everyone will have.
There is a way to make sleeping in VR very comfortable. All you simply have to do is just get some more soft pads, place it by your head, and of course elevate your head, and that's it. And once VR pretty much is in a place where it's technologically advanced, where you can actually have smaller headsets, where it's pretty much just the size of glasses, you'll be seeing this a lot more often.
Chat, but no one seems to talk about which are the Kermit voicers. Yes, I'm talking about those dudes.
Jeremy Willis, welcome to my room. How are you doing? Also, Kermit voicers, shouldn't that belong in the same spectrum of memers, but eh.
We're the same ones you know in real life that go into VR chat to put on some kind of weird variation avatar of Kermit the Frog just to have full conversations, hours long, completely in character. I am
This is all your fault, Devil Artemis! Love you.
If you spend any long amount
I'm
of time
good.
in VR chat, you will talk to one of these people. I think because Kermit is one of the easier and more recognizable characters out there to do an impression of, combined with the fact there's an ungodly amount of absolutely bizarre and hilarious Kermit avatars you can find, so it all kind of comes together. But it's also pretty funny when you end up in a deep philosophical conversation with a thick with two C's Kermit for an hour, and half of them without ever breaking character. The music players. If you've ever walked up to a group of people sitting in front of
Sit next to them, listen to the music, and shut up. And if you don't like it, walk away. Easy.
Usually in desktop mode, was playing some super emo or cloudy rap music on full blast. Well, that's one of them. We talked about mirror dwellers in the last one of these, but for some reason, these music player people will just sit in the middle of a bunch of mirror dwellers, I guess to provide background music for them. If you try talking to one, a lot of times you'll just get ignored because, well, they're blasting music through their microphone. Kind of hard to talk while doing that. But the one time I did ask a music player why they were just sitting there doing that, the response was actually pretty wholesome. They just liked contributing to the vibes for the entire group, even if they didn't interact with
Jigulkin,
anyone.
welcome
This
to
is
my
one of the
realm.
groups that I understand the least, but you see them almost everywhere, so they just had to be mentioned. A step up from that one is the VR chat DJs. One of the
Heck, they even
biggest
get paid.
scenes in VR chat are the clubbing and raving communities. There's basically a music event going on somewhere in game 24/7 if you just look hard enough. There's full clubs that host weekly events with DJs who literally spin tracks while in their headsets, sometimes with a full set of live visuals to go along
Welcome
with their
back, Star
music.
Skira.
New
How was your
users
McDonald's?
stumbling into
Devin
the club
Kenna,
scene isn't
welcome to my
exactly
realm.
common, but there's a good amount of VR chat DJs who will go into random instances of worlds like Club Orion and just throw down a set anyone might stumble across. There's nothing
I can't stand party worlds, but I do like Parsuka. Check out Parsuka. Parsuka's awesome.
quite like being able to party the night away at a VR club with strangers without ever having to take off those pajamas. Now here's a two-part stereotype. E-boys and e-girls. Starting with e-boys. E-boys will usually walk around
Popular dudes, popular girls. That has existed since the term popular was a thing. Nothing new. It's everywhere.
in these big beefed up guy avatars decorated in flashy lights, shiny chains, glowing tattoos, and, well, you get the picture. Sometimes these dudes are super chill and just out here vibing, bra. Well,
And sometimes you just look at those human avatars and you just want to punch them in the face. I mean, if they just change the style of those avatars, maybe the face and the body, then maybe I'll be a little bit more interested. But most of those models just look so uncanny. They don't even look real.
other times they have a reputation of being, well, full womanizers. E-girls, on the other hand, are known for running around in a decked out, skippy female avatar with large, assets, and as you can imagine, are always followed around by the parade of e-boy pursuit.
Sit back, relax. This VR chat video will educate you.
Whereas most stereotypes mainly have to do with the types of avatars they use, which are always poor performance rate. But the stereotypical e-boy, e-girl personalities are also associated.
Well, Thea, I'm pretty sure that you know as the reasons to why that's the case is because these avatars are too highly detailed, have way too many toggles, and on top of that, um, they just have certain textures that just don't mesh well with VR chat. There is a way around this. I have seen a human model with a medium rating. It's just got to ease up on trying to make the avatars look too realistic. Honestly, they look really cartoonish more than realistic.
With a lot of the typical boy-girl drama as well. Maybe VR chat can make people a little too confident, but the avatars are really fun to express yourself in, so I can't blame anybody for being an e-person. Let's talk about noobs. VR chat noobs are usually players who are there for the first time and have the visitor level trust.
Noobs are everywhere.
Tons of noobs playing VR chat at any given point, and whether or not they stay playing the game,
Saf the Dragon, welcome to my realm. How's your streams been?
If someone gives them the Obi-Wan Kenobi experience and shows them the way, noobs
If you all haven't already, make sure y'all check out Surf the Dragon. Check them out. They play lots of games and they have lots of interesting topics to discuss.
evolve to something more. But unfortunately, all it takes is some pressed kids screaming and an anime girl with a mustache calling them slurs, for them to peace out, never to be seen again. So remember to treat your noobs kindly. Now, here's a fun one. ASL users.
I will
Usually
only
these
treat them
players
nicely.
fall
They treat
under
me
the noob
nicely.
category from my last one of these videos, but that's not always the case. There is a whole deaf community in VR chat, and it's not uncommon to encounter users having conversations using sign language, especially if they have finger tracking. And believe it or not, there's an entire adjusted dialect that's evolved specifically for VR controllers.
Well, that's a good thing. This is a positive.
Teach it. So if someone comes up to you doing the "Can you sign hand emotions, they're not just flailing their hands around at you. They want to see if you can have a conversation with them that way, which is really cool if you ask me. World/avatar makers. It's not uncommon to walk up to someone and
Without them,
compliment their
VR chat would be
avatar and
dead.
hear, "Thanks, I made it myself." Because Blender and Unity, the programs used to build things for VR chat, are completely free for anyone to learn. It takes a lot of time and effort, but VR chat
Just
will
ask for
enable
help.
you to go create anything they can imagine. So if someone's explaining to you why you have too many tries or too high of texture memory that's affecting your avatar performance, it's probably because they're really into the technicalities of how the stuff is made. Same for world builders. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of worlds uploaded.
Huh,
So
you're
it's
being nice
inevitable
by that.
someone
There's
unique
more
has
than
uploaded
1,000.
content to VR chat in some kind of way. Musicians. Some users
They're
record their own
everywhere.
music
There
through
ain't nothing you can do
microphones,
about
such
that.
as playing guitar or piano or singing. Lots of these people like to show off their skills in public lobbies and practice to a virtual audience. They will even play instruments while inside their VR headsets, and it's a really pleasant opportunity to experience someone's talent in person. I've seen this quite often in worlds like the Great Hug on the second floor stage, so be on the lookout for an opportunity to
It kind of sucks that I don't know who they are. Let me know if Deathlock actually ever comes on VR chat, just decide to perform. That would be metal.
someone's mini performance. The cute but manly players. If you ever go up to a cute lolly to say hi and they reply being like, "Yo dude, what's up?" in a super deep voice, that's one of them. It's a hilarious contradiction to see something so cute and innocent come out with a booming masculine voice. I think the appeal here is that VR chat gives dudes the opportunity to see what being all tiny and cute is like. It's probably something they never experience in their day-to-day life, so it's a fun experiment and also just ridiculously funny whenever you have this kind of encounter. Next is streamers. Streamers will
Oh,
wander
boy.
around looking for interactions they can turn into content, and there's plenty of that in VR chat to go around. While most streamers will hang out in private instances alone and talk to the camera, some go the extra mile to create funny avatars for their streams and see what people's raw reactions are. It can be really fun to interact with them, but you might have actually been on someone's stream without even knowing before. Not everyone's upfront about it.
It's
or
fun.
makes it obvious. So always be on the lookout that if you're having a personal conversation with anyone, to make sure they aren't broadcasting your personal issues to like bring people onto it. I mentioned the drinkers before, but failed to point out the massive amount of 420ers who also enjoy VR.
Shout out to Princess Cactus.
Being high in VR is a really interesting experience as it significantly heightens immersion, and for some people, that's a massive appeal. Since worlds in VR chat can already feel fantastical and suspend the laws of physical reality, you'll pretty often see people just stoned out of their minds enjoying it. There's also a whole category of people who
They're mostly chill, too.
That's a whole other topic worth diving into. Next is the OG users. 2017 is when the game originally launched, and as you know, the Ugandan Knuckles meme is mainstream interest in VR chat. It's 6 years later now, and you'll occasionally run into players from the pre-Ugandan Knuckles era who will definitely make sure you know it. VR chat has been through a lot of phases, considering it is
It's still in beta.
Users will sit you down and reminisce about the old days. You might hear some interesting stories from them, or even be taken to the old hub worlds that can really change your perspective on how far things have come. It's pretty fun to poke at them for being the old people of VR chat, but if you're interested in some of the deeper sides of how social VR has become what it is today, be on the lookout for one of these users. Clueless adults. Most of VR chat's dedicated player base is relatively young, somewhere between 18 to 35 based on my YouTube demographics. But some older folks are willing to give VR chat a try. I know my dad isn't the only dad out there to try and play VR chat, whether it's for their kids or just out of curiosity because they like tech.
This is adorable.
Is that adults just don't understand new technology, no matter how
They
much
can't.
you try and show them.
I don't even understand it.
The menu or clone an avatar, they'll still need help every time. It's pretty cute
Like
to
we
see
all
an
do.
adult user base actually give an interest to try and understand what's going on in the freshly evolving tech world, even if it is a little more difficult for them to grasp. So, shout out to the clueless adults. Don't be embarrassed. Everyone is just happy to see you give it a try. Well, that's 15 more VR chat players you need to know. But you know what?
And now, drum roll, please. Experimentalists. That's right. Experimentalists, the main definition for experimentalists is simply just those who have done their research, know a little bit about what's going on within the VR realm and whatnot. And these are the ones that pretty much, oh, shut up. And these are the ones that, these are ones that pretty much just go out of their way to explore worlds, to listen in on conversations. These are the ones that just want all the knowledge, and then they pretty much want to try things out for themselves. The experimentalists are very rare, and these are the ones that feel like that they fall within certain stereotypes, but not for the reasons that you think. These are the ones that pretty much will go around, join groups, and then leave, join discords, and then after they're like, all right, I got what I need, and leave. They're rare and dime in a dozen. They're very sweet at heart. So there you go. And then of course the escapists. So let's just hear what they have to say. But yeah, that was just pretty much it. That's the experimentalists.
Wait, I'm feeling a little spicy today, so I'm gonna go crazy and give you one more. The final user, the escapist. Let's face it, VR is addictive, especially if you're discontent with your IRL life. VR chat is an escape from reality. It can be better than what you face in the physical world in every way. It's your entire social life. It's where you sleep, eat, you party there. All your friendships are in VR, and you like your virtual body more than your real one. To the point you might not be able to face yourself in the mirror anymore. And it's a phase, honestly, a lot of players go through. To the point they'll even neglect their bodies, families, jobs, and honestly, it's kind of dystopian. VR chat is a tool that you can use to express yourself and experience the world in a new way. But I hope people realize it's not a replacement for your physical life, it's an enhancer. But don't be embarrassed for being an escapist. It's honestly a normal phase to go through. But take care of yourself. Both realities matter. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what
There's honestly a lot more that goes into it. The ones that claim that they're therapists, the hypnotists, the historians, the religious leaders. So yeah, there's so much more. Oh, the motivational speakers. Stereotypes are everywhere. Okay, but at the same time, it's just really just all about how you see it and how you view it. And also, cute TikTok for saying that I'm unoriginal. Anyway, last video is where'd it go? And also, I want to thank Fia for that. That was very informative. But where did that one video go? Let's see here. VR chat worlds are crazy. Okay, save to watch later. Where is it? It was right here. Here it is.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Clouds, your guide to all things VR chat, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive right into the nasty end of VR chat. Today, I'll be going over the 10 weirdest people you may come to find within VR chat. Now, whether you're a new player, just curious as to what kind of people you may want to steer clear from.
Well, they said weirdest, so we already know this is going to be opinionated.
With 7K plus hours, just curious as to kind of weirdos and creeps that are roaming around your platform. This video is just for you, because today I have a list put together for you, ranked from worst to best. We're going to start at 10, which is just basic annoying people that may slightly irritate you, but not too bad, all the way to number 1, which is flat-out criminal activity taking place within the world of VR chat. So if you like the video, leave a like and a comment, let me know what you like about it. And if you really like the video, go ahead and subscribe for more content as I post here weekly. Without further ado, we're going to dive right in to the weirdest people that you may come to find in the world of VR chat. Our first stop on our journey is the good old Black Cat, which if you play.
Oh wait, I forgot. Screw you, TikTok. I got YouTube and I got Trovo.
This is why it houses some of the most annoying people. Starting off our list at number 10 with the kids of VR chat. These guys are typically around the ages of 8 and 12.
This is true.
As they will typically be in some sort of fallback avatar like the one I'm using right now, as they're almost always on a Quest standalone headset that they got for Christmas.
So mixture opinionated and facts. Okay.
A few hours of solace all to themselves to do the good old hanky panky. This typically leads to these children roaming around incoherently screaming racial slurs at you and your friend group, just yapping in your ear, or talking about stuff that you genuinely just don't care about. What the hell is a Scooby toilet? I don't know and I don't care. I'm here to talk to e-girls. That being said, as they typically get bored
I
rather
like them.
quickly, or you can simply mute or block them and go on with the rest of your day.
The loud mic. Oh God.
The next place we have to go is the optimized box. Well, what you see is what you get. It's a big blue box meant for optimized playtime so that you can get better at FPS while interacting with your friends. This is where you run into number 9 on our list, which is loud micers. Loud micers can be broken down into 2 categories. One, people who don't know how to control their microphone audio, therefore just have a loud mic by accident.
Crow,
but you
welcome
just
to
let
my
them
realm.
know, and they'll most likely try to fix it.
This will be the last video that I react to because TikTok says this is unoriginal content.
There's the other kind. Number 2, the annoying ones. These are people that purposefully have their microphone audio absolutely maxed out just for the sake of blasting out your eardrums. These people are almost exclusively on desktop as it is much easier to have a loud microphone when you can get all up close to it. You see, with the headset on, it's a lot harder to be close up to your microphone and have a bass boost. These guys are number 9 because they're still pretty easy to solve. A quick mute kind of gets rid of them, but they can still be pretty annoying if you're having a conversation. And next thing you know,
Unless they
someone's
come
walking up
back,
the street
find you
and
under a different
definitely
account. They spelled dweller wrong. Why?
For number 3, we're taking a complete trip down to the opposite side of the spectrum. Whereas number 2 is annoying for the sake of being overly loud, number 3 is annoying for the lack of interaction with the community in public worlds. As we have to take a trip back to the Black Cat, as now we're talking about mirror dwellers. Mirror dwellers are one of the most common forms of player base you'll meet within VR chat, as they're in almost every world nowadays, sadly. Mainly in the Black Cat, mirror dwellers are commonly in full body, listening to music, not talking to anyone, sitting with their e-kitten cuddling. Now, if you're a new user and walk up to them,
What's
they
an
will most
e-kitten?
definitely ignore you, as most of them
What?
have people under the user rank muted because they are just too cool for school. You can spot these people as they will be blindly staring at the wall, not interacting with anybody around them.
Maybe because they're
These players are
scared.
annoying because
I already
they
talked about
don't
this.
interact. And the whole point of this game, at least in my opinion, is to interact with other people. This may just be a me thing, but they annoy me.
Why does that sound like AI
Next,
music?
we have to take a trip down to the Midnight Bar. This is one of the most popular bars within VR chat, and is well known as a good place to hang out or
Okay.
in the community. The reason I'm here is this is the most common place that I interact with this next group of people.
The sunset part. I mean, oh, the sunset part. Ooh, I am not doing good. I need to work on concentrate number 5. Oh, I'm not doing good. Oh, there's so much I want to say, but I'm just gonna.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know why they do it, but they just come in and they eliminate the whole lobby. The next thing you know, your game's lagging, you're on 1 FPS, and you're just jittering all around. So my advice for these guys is they can be pretty hard to kind of guess who is a crasher. My best advice is just keep safety settings all the way on. Only turn on your friends. Pause.
I feel like I've said all of this before.
Just keep your
I mean, very informative.
That's the best way to protect against these annoying assholes.
Hypersexual. Just leave. There you go. Just leave. Excuse me.
Our next stop for number 6 is none other than the Just Be Club. It is a hotel of sorts in VR chat, and if you know what hotels are used for IRL, well, then you pretty much know what they're used for in VR too. So this is where you'll find the next group of people that I don't like, known as Hyper S's. That's my name for them. It stands for Hyper.
Oh my God, hypersexuals.
Whose main goal in this video game is to get freaky and go to
Be such a
contact.
pansy.
And they will do that with anyone, whether they want to or not. They'll walk up, touch you, talk to you any kind of way they want, even if it makes you uncomfortable. They don't care. They're just horny. So if you don't want to meet those kinds of people, I'd say steer clear of this place, because this place is pretty much exclusively used for ERP. Anytime I've gotten invited here to hang out and I go to the back rooms, just pound town. every time.
That's
So if
insane.
that's not your cup of tea, just go ahead and steer clear of this place.
Steer clear. Oh God, this is terrible.
For number 5 on our list, I've picked Midnight Rooftop.
It's kind of half and half.
For number 5, we're getting into the deep and spicy stuff now. We have public ERPers. What is ERP? You may be asking if you're a normal person and don't spend too much time online. Well, it is erotic roleplay, something that adults with too much free time on their hands do when they can't get a girlfriend IRL. Which, when you're doing it publicly in a world with children that could possibly walk in and see you, it's pretty weird. But yeah, Midnight Rooftop
And alarming.
is one of the main spots that I see it happening on that couch, just everyone getting freaky in public. It's weird. I don't get it. It's not my thing. It's not most people's thing either. But there is a select few that do it. So if you see it going down, just make fun of them, bully them. I don't know, whatever you want to do, or just block them if you just don't want to see it. If it grosses you out, just go ahead and hit that block button. Or if you're into it, join in. I don't know. I wish it would stop.
Oh God. Okay. Walk away. Use safety settings. Go to another world. Don't make a scene. Only get involved if it turns out that a child's involved. But if the child's not involved, you stay out of it. Okay? Okay.
But it doesn't seem like it is because it just.
I think the block button or using safety settings is a good idea for me, or just stay away from Publix.
Like a trend at this point. But as it is the number 1 world in VR chat, obviously it's going to have its share of issues. For number 4, we have the racist of VR chat, which is
Okay,
honestly
now we're
pretty
talking.
common, sadly. It's kind of hard to spot these guys as they could be desktop trolls rolling around pretty obviously. You trying to get people mad. It could be someone in a VR headset just screaming racial slurs, or a little kid like we talked about earlier, or it could be a fully articulate, full body user that just hates people for some reason. But
For some reason, there you go. Some
if you
reason.
deal with them, just hit that block button, hit that mute button, and just don't give them the energy.
Ooh, the manipulator. Ooh, we're going to the psychology realm.
And just like that, we're in our top 3. For our last 3, I say the absolute bottom of the barrel scum that by no means should you be interacting with on VR chat. Starting us off at number 3, I have VR chat manipulators.
The manipulator.
People who take weak-minded individuals that are struggling mentally, whether they have autism or some type of mental disorder, or just struggling mentally,
Yup.
and they use it to their advantage. They'll lie, cheat, steal, and do whatever they need to make sure that that person fully relies on them. They try their best to pull them away from their friends and family to make them feel utterly alone, aside from the connection that they have formed with them.
Yep.
If you see this happening, try your best to intervene and help the person get away from that toxic relationship. And for number 2, the kinds of players that I believe to be the absolute worst that VR chat has to offer is VR chat predators. These are grown up
Agree. Agree. I'll let you have the floor with this one.
As we all know, VR chat is a 13+ game, but there are plenty of users who are under that age. A lot of people know this and take this to their advantage. They will add them on Discord and try to elicit explicit photos of these young minors.
Ew.
It's absolutely disgusting, and it's something that I really hope will stop soon in the future of VR chat. With plenty of YouTubers fighting to expose these predators, I hope that we can form an alliance and hopefully get rid of them altogether. For one spot, the absolute worst kind of person you can meet in VR chat, anyone who watches my videos and isn't subscribed.
Ooh.
You're complaining? I gave you 9. What, you wanted me to make the title 9 worst players in VR chat? That doesn't have a ring. It doesn't have a bazinga. Look, I did my best, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a big like, subscribe.
That was actually good. Okay, so let's do an overview of all of these videos, okay? They're all correct. A lot of these aren't technically stereotypes at all. I mean, they technically are and they technically not, but all in all, these are all correct. And again, if you would like more information on how to deal with a lot of these people or whatnot, like especially like the ones that individual mentioned, head on over to VRC University. Old vids from my old Twitch, my itch channel. So if you remember my old username, cool, but it's different. So just type in VRC University, and bam, there you go. It will give you pretty much in-depth, like lessons on how to deal with all of these situations and then some. I did the best I could. and the community did the best they could. So the rest is up to you. So how did I do? Let's go back to toxic trait number 5. I'm not gonna lie. I struggled. I struggled because that perfectionist side of me was like, well, they forgot this and they forgot to talk about this. So I had to like stop myself and say, it's okay. It didn't need to be the same. Well, I didn't like the way how they talked about this, and they should have, used more examples about furries, and they didn't talk about bronies. I was like, self, it's okay. Relax. Eat another Twizzler. They're not gonna get it right fully, but they hit the nail on the mark, and they got to the point, and that's all that matters. Whatever else they need to know about, they can do it themselves. And of course, when I got spammed by somebody, I'm not gonna call them out. At first, I felt a little hint of frustration, but I said, you know what, screw it, spam rave. So I just started singing Deathlock, and I felt a lot better. And I think I scared that person away. So mission accomplished. I will admit, this is definitely the one that I struggle with the most. I will admit that. I will admit I struggle with this one the most. It could just be how I was raised. It could just be the fact that I just simply just have zero tolerance for stupidity, because I was raised in a household where, you had to get it right the first time or you got punished. So now I'm just learning tips and methods on how to learn how to deal with that. I have a lot of friends, acquaintances who do silly things, stupid things, ignorant things, and it's helping me to hold my tongue. It's helping me to learn instead of be like, oh my goodness, why? I'm learning to like each year. I'm learning to laugh more. I'm learning to just accept what happened. I'm learning to, understand that this is not always their fault, that it's just a situation. And I also have to understand that if it happened to me, I would want some level of empathy and everything. So that's pretty much what I would have to say about that. Uh, So yeah, I will admit, yeah, toxic trait number 5 is definitely the one that I struggle with. I can definitely say during these, the start of my intensive therapy, which is just me doing research and of course allowing myself to be exposed to a lot of things, I can say that the overthinking, overanalyzing is getting a little bit better. The anger, I'm learning to just, I'm finding ways to let it out more effectively. Being guarded is that's starting to slowly go away, which is good. Asking for help, I always ask for help, but now it's like I got to know when to ask for help in that moment. So that's getting better. Um, but this one's gonna be tough. This one pushing myself so hard, and that's getting better. Um, you know, helping people, I'm just that's honestly getting a lot better. You know, the being hard headed, I'm just accepting that that's just how Virgos are, and just to laugh and just be like, you know what? Oh well, I did something stupid. It is what it is. The unforgiving part, thank goodness I conquered that at such a young age. And the perfectionist part, I'm just embracing perfection. Like right now, I'm seeing a lot of things that's causing me to have little ticks in my room, but it's okay. Like I've noticed I had some little ticks during my stream where I was like, eh, but I did it. It's getting better each day. It's getting better. So I'm not expecting perfection. I'm expecting progress, and because I expect progress, this has just been absolutely incredible. So wow, that's what I did. Toxic trait 5 and all that. Okay, I got plenty of time. Um, so pretty much Monday I was supposed to do the overview of toxic traits, different types of VR chat players, the 3 videos, and And then today I was going to go back to toxic trait number 5. Gave an example of how I failed, gave an example of how I succeeded. So I've done that. Okay. Who wants to see a sneak peek of what my avatar looks like now? It's not finished. There's a lot that I need to work on, but I figured, if y'all just give me just a few moments of y'all time, I will go ahead and get started with that. And I will explain everything that needs to pretty much be adjusted. So you all get to have a sneak peek. So those of you that stayed and ignored that little, I don't know. I don't know, ignored something. I can't really think about that. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Also, speaking of which, I got a response from them stating, "Thanks for follow-up message. Just quick note, looks like your original version request came through with an empty body." So there's like, uh-oh. Yeah, we want to fix that. So I don't know why. Wait, did I put empty body? I guess I did. Maybe. I don't recall ever doing that, but maybe, I don't know. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. I don't know if I can show this on TikTok, because, I could try. We'll see. Video. So here it is. Here is my work in progress avatar. So if you miss it, you miss it. And I'm going to show that now on the other platforms. So as you can see, lots of work needs to be done. The face needs adjusting. The clothes need adjusting. My ghost dragon buddies are missing, but they got the horns right. The horns actually look good. The mouth looks good, but they need to adjust the face just a little bit to make it a little bit more skinnier. Body type needs to be worked on. He needs to be a little bit taller. So it's just so much that needs to be worked on with this model. So I think I could ask for like a toggle where it can like adjust the shading of the character. And Noble Drake's Scoutcar, welcome to my realm. And Jeremy, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful day. So it looks decent. Oh, welcome back, Jeremy. It looks decent, but there's just so much needs to be worked on. So the face needs to be worked on. The ghosts and toggles are missing. Of course, there's probably no body underneath, so I'll have to talk to him about that. But this is what my model now looks like, and this is what I'll be wearing. This will be strictly SFW. I will make that very clear one more time to all of my certain friends. This will be strictly SFW. If you see me in this, that means SFW only. You can have anything that's like not SFW, like topics or whatever, but any teasing and whatnot, I will switch back to another avatar as a defense mechanism. This is a strictly SFW avatar, and this is what I will use for my VR streams. I don't know about making vids just yet because, again, this model is not even finished. There's just so much needs to be worked on. But that's what it looks like. So Indone Studios, shout out to you all. And of course, Daniel. shout out to you for working on the PNG model. Appreciate it. So I got to put that model together. But they're doing the best that they can, and it so far it's looking pretty good. It's just it's a start, but you know there's just a lot that needs to be taken care of still. So, but yeah, it's that's just that. Speaking of which, once all of that gets taken care of, let's talk Foxy Paws. Anybody got time for one more topic? We're just going to talk Foxy Paws. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find an example of a Foxy Paws model. I'm going to place it up here, and then I am going to read my, I'm going to read my personal critique from a website, right? And then you all can pretty much tell me if I'm right, if I'm incorrect, if, I'm way off, if I, because I want to state this right now. I have no ill will towards the creator at all. I think they're a phenomenal artist. But this is what happens when you simply just let people just get by without giving them any type of feedback. Fluffy Fox Phantom, welcome back. So let me just find an example of a Foxy Paws model, and then we'll go from there. It's just coming from someone who, again, no ill will towards them. It's just, I just kind of wish they do just a little bit better. Just a tad bit. Because if you know me, I like differences. And if I'm not seeing any differences, and you know me as a Virgo, we're going to call it out. Whether people like it or not. They can call us mean. They can say that we're being hateful. We're not. We're just simply doing this because we care. And that's our problem. Remember what I said, Virgos? We care what? Too much. And we're going to learn how to what? Stop caring so much. But we're gonna slowly but surely, get over that. So just believe me when I say this. This will be the last time in a while until I get through this therapy that I'm going to, do like in-depth critiques like this. And this is just me doing this because what was our issue, Virgos? We what? We cared too much. And we gotta what? Stop. We gotta stop. We gotta think about ourselves. We have to, so that way we don't inadvertently hurt people's feelings. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to do that. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. Because heaven forbid if you actually try to help people, you try to give them some advice so they, able to do a little bit better. But maybe the advice that we give just isn't helpful, But hey, a Virgo from another Virgo, you understand what we're trying to say. So anyway, deep breath. Just be quiet for a bit. When we hit 1 hour and 31 minutes, right? That's when we will start to talk. Oh, and it's 1 hour and 31 minutes on TikTok side. So for TikTok side, it'll be 1 hour and 31 minutes and approximately give me a sec, 22 seconds for the review, and only 1 hour 31 minutes and 2 seconds on the U2 and Tropo side. All right, so here we go. Foxy Falls. I've given them 3 years. So this critique is warranted, it's needed, and it would be nice if she could honestly do just a little bit of a better job. I'll get my mouth close to this mic so I can read this properly. Foxy Paws is a very creative and well-liked 3D artist among furries and non-furries alike. Their expertise and attempt to combine human furry anatomy is a valiant one at that. with their proof of high sales and receiving constant praise for their art and models, surely shows that she is an unstoppable force to compete with the realm of VR chat. Moreover, they have a lot of fans, slash, nobody seems to have any issues or critiques with her models. Except for the Virgo, which is me, the naturally born hated Virgo speaking. And I'm going to go ahead and review why Foxy Paw models are just, how do y'all call it? Mid. For over 2 to 3 years, I observed, analyzed, and noticed the structure of their models and their formulated art style. Here's what I've noticed. We're gonna start off with the pros and then go up, then do the cons. I know some folks like do cons, then pros. Pros and cons doesn't really matter. 5 out of the 35 models, despite some issues, I highly recommend see some slight differences. This is the Miko, the Honey Bear, the Nebula, the Aurora 2.0, and the EV. I'm not sure if it's Aurora 2.0 or what, but the Luna one. That one's actually pretty good. There's a clear, precise understanding of the human anatomy. Absolutely. The models work properly and barely have any technical issues. That is true. From a glance, the models succeed in achieving monetary gain, but not surpassing the sales from their first model, which was, well, the Dragon one. Zen 187, welcome to my realm. Lots of options for each avatar, maybe a little bit too many, and a huge variety of furry types to choose from. See, that's some nice little pros right there. Good to see you, Zen. Have you eaten? Now let's go over the cons. Most of the body structure for males, females, etc. look way too similar for one another. This is just a little nitpick of mine, but if I see this with any artist, I'm going to call it out respectfully. There appears to be a lack of full understanding of how the furry anatomy works. If you don't believe me, have a friend be a Foxy Paws model, and then have a friend be another, furry model and another one, and then look at the hands, look at the feet, look at the legs, look at the face. You're going to see that there is clearly something that's off. So it's not that she can't do it, it's just that there's just a lack of understanding on her part, and she doesn't seem to comprehend what makes a furry versus what makes a human. You're going to notice this with a lot of human avi creators where they make a human-based model and then try to compare it to a furry and they try to combine it. There's just something that's just kind of off. So we're just reviewing Foxy Paws. That's all. The particular art style just doesn't look all that appealing. If you play Second Life, that's pretty much where that art style belongs. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I feel like a little bit more can be done with it. It just seems too, worn out. It's just overdone. Now, I'm not saying that every artist has to stick to a similar art style and whatnot because that represents them. But when you look real closely at the models, you notice that there's just something kind of off about them. Like, where's the difference? Where's the variety? This is why I do not like human avatars in VR chat, because there's barely any variety. Look at the hands, look at the feet, look at the legs, look at the face. That's my favorite things, because this is the parts that I noticed that a lot of artists, including myself, struggle with. And that's why you have to practice, practice, practice. Their decision to combine furry and human for every model is a huge misstep. I feel like they should split it. Human and furry. They can't do both. A lot of human-based avi makers, like humanoid avi makers, try to do this and it just doesn't look right. From the it looks way too uncanny to the point where it's conflicting art styles. They have to stick with one or the other. That's like if a furry avatar maker try to make a human avatar maker. No, sorry, human avi. It's just gonna look off because you're trying to combine two art styles that just don't mesh well. It's trying to combine Sin City with My Little Pony. There's going to be a conflict in art style. It can work, but one's going to have to overtake the other. And that's what Foxy Paw struggles with and has been struggling with over the past 3 years. There's way too many toggles. There is no reason why any avatar needs this many toggles. And of course, every single one of her models have a very poor rating. Some toggles you don't really need, and not all these toggles should, equate to someone having a very poor avatar. A good example of this is like the old robot avatars where they have tons of toggles, but yet somehow, some way, these avatars have a medium or a good rating. That's because that Abby creator, right, that artist knows how to, compress their textures, and they know how to offer more for, Quest and PC users without pretty much, sacrificing, quality and performance. But again, that just has to be someone who's a little bit more experienced in that field. And the male avatars are just ugly. I mean, they suffer from originality and are not that appealing. I tried to like these avatars. You see me in Crystal Guardians, streams wearing these avatars. I don't like it. I just do it for her because they're a good friend of mine, and I honestly, personally, do not like the male versions. The female versions I can give a pass, but the male versions is just no. Because when I look at the human versions of the males and then I see the Foxy Paws version of the males, I can see that there is a huge misstep. And it's just they either don't fully understand furry anatomy and they need to go back to the drawing board, or it could just be ego. Ego, we all have it, and it's just like, oh well, I'm making all this money. Why would I care what a few people say about my models? Riddle me this, Foxy Paws. This is not me, stating anything negative towards you. If these models are so amazing, how come not a lot of people are wearing them? You have to think about that for a sec, okay? Like people will compliment and say good things about you and whatever, but when you ask yourself that hard hitting question, if it's so good, how come no one else? How come a lot of people aren't just wearing them, you know, all day, every day? You know what I mean? When you think about it that way, it's a wake up call. That's not to beat yourself up. It's just, let me go around and start asking people, what is it that you want to see more of? What is it that you feel I should improve upon? And when you see that you start to do that, yes, you'll start to lose some people that just throw money at you because they're not furries. Most of them are not furries. I'm just going to be real with you. But you will gain a new audience, right? That will definitely help and guide you. I said this before when I was Why People Why. Take care, Jeremy. Have a good one. And, have a fantastic day. I'm actually about to end stream just a moment. So thank you. You did a wonderful job with modding and whatnot. And I'm just happy to see you. So bottom line is artists, whether they're skilled or not, have to practice different art styles. They need to practice different varieties on, how they pretty much explore their art. Otherwise, they're just going to be stuck. I notice this with every artist that I come across. They have this moment where they feel like they're at their peak level and then they just stop. Peak level, then stop. Peak level, then stop. And that's fine. But sometimes it's okay to embrace something different art styles. You have your art style. That is your art style. That is something that you stick with forever. But you have one life. Why not try doing something else? It's not going to hurt you, I promise you. It's not going to hurt you to at least attempt something else. You're doing it for you. You're not really doing it for your fans or whatnot, your followers. You're doing it for you so you can expand and learn more about what you can improve upon. So here are my suggestions. The artist needs to do more research on furry anatomy and communicate with more artists. Drawing furries, making furry models is not easy. I would know. Trust me. But there is a wide range community that everyone likes to make fun of that is actually extremely helpful and is willing to sit down with you and educate you for free. Notice the word that I just said, free. While expecting constructive criticism because they want to see more variety in the furry community. The furry community is huge and has been around for centuries. And the fact that, just like with LGBTQ, people treat these communities like they're new, it's wrong. It's all wrong. They've been around for a long time. So the hands and feet need to be reworked. If I ever see a Foxy Paws model and I see that the hands and feet have actually been reworked, I'm going to do 3 backflips. I will literally take a class, learn how to do a backflip. I will do that backflip. I will do a backflip. I will do 3 backflips. I will do 3 backflips. and try reducing the many toggles that the avatar comes with, or at least learn how to, add toggles that don't take up, so much space on the avatar. Your avatar doesn't need a lot of, also your favorite gal, or I couldn't read that text, welcome to my realm. It's just all about just courtesy. Your avatars don't need all these toggles, music, and all of that stuff to show, oh, I'm fancy and cool and whatnot. It's for experimental purposes, but your main avatar simply should just have Go Go Loco, maybe one song, maybe a funny dance toggle, whatnot, because we want to see avatars with at least a medium rating and a good rating. Very poor avatars is one of the main reasons why avatars are just constantly just, lagging, instances and whatnot. Again, it's not a bad thing. It's just, your fave biker girl. Thank you. Now I was able to see it. Welcome to my realm. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I got to say. Because, as I say before, the community is huge. And there's tons of different art styles. And yes, SFW artists, you're going to have to get out of your little comfort, oh, I'm so safe zone, and explore the dark side in order to get inspiration as well. And those that are just full dark and golf, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and go over to the bright side and get inspiration from them as well. Or you can just stay stuck and your progress will immediately start to stagnate. If you don't believe me, go to Foxy Paul's Gumroad right now and you'll see how her sales went. They're still like very high, but you'll notice that every time she releases a new model, not a lot of people want to buy them. There's a reason for this, because people like me, they see that there's barely any growth. It's the same thing with me. If I make one piece of art, right, dedicated to Jackson Pollock, and I sell it for $500 and it does well, and then I do the same thing but change the color, no one's going to want to buy it because they're going to look and say, you didn't really do anything. All you did was just same thing, different colors. It's like EA games, It's like, hey, you like the first sports game, the first few sports games. Now you're noticing that they're pretty much the same. So why bother? It's just like with Nintendo, or Nin as I used to nickname them. I don't really care anymore, when it comes to that. If they want to say something to me, that's fine. Where you look at Mario Kart games and you love them to death, but then you notice that you get bored all of a sudden. After like a month or so, you're just like, I want to play something else. But that's just how it is. Constructive criticism is only effective when it doesn't attack the person. It shows them what they can do to be more efficient. Not better, more efficient. Because you want artists to be encouraged to make progress, not to try to be better. The term better and perfect are detrimental to success. You have to use words like effective. You have to use words like progressive. You have to use words that will encourage the artist to want to move forward instead of go backwards and be burnt out. We're all on the same boat trying to learn about this life that we live, because it doesn't matter if you're more successful, have more viewers. We are all on the same boat. I'm trying to figure out this one question. Who are we truly? And that's the question that scares a lot of people, especially Virgos. Foxy Paws is aiming at the right direction, but they want to continue to go in that set direction, especially with their community that obviously loves her so much. Perhaps they should take a step back and really ask themselves, am I evolving or remaining stagnant? And while a lot of these models are indeed well made, I'm not going to lie, they're well made, there's just something off about them that only their supporters can point out. That is, if they truly want to see Foxy Paws improve a lot more. Did I say anything incorrect? As CM Punk would say, tell me when I'm telling lies. Did I not hit the nail on the mark? Continue to please support her, but I think what needs to happen is, because I know she has like this rule, like, oh, don't give me a 4 or 3-star rating. What people need to start doing is maybe buy the model, but under that 5-star rating, give some suggestions. Hey, this is a good model. Here is my 2 suggestions for you. And the more she sees this, she's gonna be like, oh, maybe my models aren't all that. And people say that, oh, when you hang around super successful people, you will become successful. It depends on the successful people that you hang around with, because you can hang around all the successful people, but if those successful people are not investing in you, even though you're working hard, then you're kind of going backwards. Sometimes you have to hang around people who are on the same boat and are headed towards success, and they want to help you. It doesn't pay to always be at the top all the time. I will say this over and over again for as long as I continue to live till I see 100. Because those that are truly successful that you hang around with, they're not terrible people, but they are in survival mode. Yes, they make all this money and stuff, but you also have to think about what is it that they're trying to pay back, who they lost, who they had to sacrifice, the friendships they destroyed. Now, I already said what I had to say. Foxy Paws, continue to do what you do, but please just heed to my suggestions. If this offends you in any way, feel free to blacklist me, ban me. That's fine. But I did what I wanted to do for a while. I've been patient with you, and unfortunately, I've not been seeing a lot of growth. It's very small, but it's just like with us Virgos. You got to learn to accept criticism. It hurts, but you can do it. I know you can. You got a lot of people that love you and care about you, and they will love to wear your models. And oh, I get it. Like, oh, but well, they're inexpensive. They're $35. Yeah, that's true. But who wants to literally just see something with a head swap and a texture swap, and that's pretty much it? No, I actually work hard. I do my. Well, here's the thing. Try the furry avatars for yourself. Look at them and you'll see. Oh, I had to do it. Like I have to go do like over 50 plus avatars sometimes before I was able to come up with the why people why, pony sona. I had to, try like 10 or 11 avatars, take pictures and look closely at how they're made and whatnot before I can go to the avatar maker and say, this is what I want. It's just a process, and you know this because I know you taking the art classes and stuff, and you hung around big dogs, big cats, whatever you want to call them, and they taught you this. So it's no difference between you, and it's no difference between me. You may make a little bit more money than me, but there's really no difference. You see what I mean? It's just all what you want. If you are content with mediocrity, then continue to produce what you produce and make the money, but you barely grow. There's nothing more painful to anyone that's successful, right? Jonathan Enderbury, what's around? There's nothing more painful in this life when someone tells you that you're the best and they throw money at you, but that one person tells you the truth and say you need to improve and hurt your ego because your followers should have just told you straight up the truth, but they deceived you with success and money, make you feel like you're the best when you weren't really all that. I'm not even all that. I will be right back. Excuse myself to the restroom, and then we shall conclude this stream. And that concludes this stream. I just had to go eat something. So let me go ahead and go over the next plan for the next stream. So Wednesday will be VR, Xbox Game Pass games. There's tons of Xbox games that I would definitely love to try out. Let's see here. So I'm thinking, because I know, so I'm trying to think. The new Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 video game. That's coming out in 2 days. So I'll definitely, so I'm gonna go ahead and install that real quick. Cool, cool. So yeah, the new Tony Hawk game, which is literally just a, it's whatever. I'm thinking about just getting both of those games. Let's see, High on Life 2 that comes out towards the end. I have yet to play Expedition 33. I'll wait on Guilty Gear Strive. I did receive an update. Shout out to my friends. Pyro. No. Apparently, Ragna, the Blood Edge, the PC version for Guilty Gear Strive, is almost done, which is fantastic. So this is beautiful. I'm very happy about that. Once that is done and taken care of and ready for release, I can finally buy Guilty Gear Strive on PC. When I have the funds, of course. Thursday will be setting the record straight. So this is pretty much for those who are still a little bit confused on the whole YPY situation. I can go ahead and give y'all a sneak peek of that. So the pony is dead. I want to make that very clear. He's gone. However, to those that I trust, to like those on my friends list, I can show the pony model. So you'll see the pony model, but the pony model is technically like a ghost. So he's kind of like a fabrication of people's imagination. So in people's streams, if people invite me or whatever, I will act like the pony, but I will not be myself. And then once I switch out of that pony, I'm pretty much back to being me. So I'll just be all for my character and lore. So he's just a ghost. And then if people ask me, oh, did you see the pony? I'm going to say, what pony? So that's just kind of like what I'm going to do there. So if you ask me what the pony is, and people ask me, oh, that was cool that you choose the pony, I'm going to say, what pony? Because the pony's a ghost. The pony is just a fabrication of people's imagination now. And of course, if anyone has any questions about the pony, just let me know. You're still free to ask me about the pony, but he's gone. If you want to do like a top 5 moments with the pony, that's cool. You can still draw fan art of the pony. That's completely up to you. And Friday, and I want to make this a thing. Friday or any other day, I'm not gonna be too consistent with this. I want to do something called Mistakes of a Virgo, where I do an overview of this week, and whether it be like I got in trouble or if something happened, I am just simply going to just sit back and just laugh. I'm going to say, oh yeah, I remember when I did this, or when I tried to download this game, it almost crashed my PC, or I remember when I blah, blah, blah. So those are the type of moments that, I want to definitely do, in the coming future. And that's pretty much it. 2 hours in. And the funny thing is, I don't have to do this anymore because I am no longer with Bank Productions. So I just want to go ahead and end the stream by saying, Bank Productions, thank you for everything. It is no ill will towards you. It's just that due to my family emergency and going through therapy and whatnot, and of course what I went through, the 3 weeks before the 2 weeks that I've also dealt with some things, which is just life. I've decided that I can no longer be a part of an agency anymore for a bit. So everything is just going well. And any support that I get, hearts, gifts, or whatnot, is all appreciated. appreciate Manny for, sharing the live and just for liking the stream. So it's much appreciated. This is your naturally born hated Virgo speaking.